Welcome everyone. Baljor, the High Elf Bard here, and I'm here to continue the story of the Leviathan. Since we last left Alex, she'd been thinking about her adventures with the Leviathan sword, and its words that one day it would need her help again. Some time had passed, and she continued doing her walks in the woods, continued to go through the woods, and one day she heard a familiar voice. It was, of course, the Leviathan sword. It appeared in front of her, floating in the air, told her that it needed her help one more time. So sure enough, she grabbed the sword, and it guided her through the forest, until she came upon another clearing this time, but she already had the sword, so what could possibly be there? Well, she found a pendant with an ornate stone that had a pale blue glow to it. The sword told her to put the pendant on, that it would help them in their quest. So she wore the pendant and continued, following the sword's guidance until she eventually came upon a fortress. And this fortress was guarded by soldiers. All the soldiers had red armor on. The sword told her to hold the pendant, and she did. She held the pendant in her hand, and it glowed softly and cast an illusion, making her invisible. The sword told her to go around the side of the wall, as to not alert the guards to her presence. So instead of going past the guards at the front through the front gate, she instead went around to the side. And the sword said, "I detect a hidden door here." The pendant started glowing again, and revealed one brick in the wall that was loose. She reached, and she pressed on that brick, revealing a secret entrance. With the illusion still in place, she walked through, followed steps downwards, until she ended up in the dungeon of this fortress. There were more guards here, wearing that same red armor, and she saw people, individuals and families, locked in cells. She heard talks of a mine, of slave labor, magic stones that were in this mine. She continued onward, going past the guards, up the staircase to the main hall, sneaking past a few more guards until she got into the main chamber. And in the main chamber, she saw what looked like a knight. A knight in armor, but his armor, it had a red glow to it. And the knight said, "I can see you. I can tell that you're there." The pendant stopped its illusion, and she was face to face with the knight. She asked the knight, "Why do you have the people behind bars? Why are you using them for slave labor? That's wrong. You shouldn't be doing this." The knight said, "Right or wrong, I am bound by honor to serve the one who I work for." Alex replied that if the actions are wrong, there is no honor. The knight replied, "Let us see who is right by who is victorious." The knight stood up and pulled out his own sword, ready to do battle. Alex held the Leviathan sword, readying herself, and then the pendant started to glow even brighter, and she found herself suddenly wearing armor, as protective as the knight's own, but this armor instead had a blue glow to it, and the Leviathan sword, while being originally a much shorter sword, had grown in length, and now was much longer. And so their swords met, and the fight was fierce. The battle went on for quite some time, and the knight was skilled. He was very good with his blade. But now Alex, she was proficient with a blade before, and she had been practicing, knowing one day Leviathan would need her help. So they fought, and they fought, their swords clashing, until the knight parried one of Alex's blows and went to strike a final blow, but Alex was able to recover and parry, disarming the knight. The knight kneeled down to accept that killing blow. Alex hesitated for a minute. She did not strike the blow. In fact, she told the knight that she didn't want to kill him, but all she wants is for him to free the people, to no longer serve evil. Upon saying that, the pendant shattered. Her armor faded away. The knight's own armor went through a change. The knight's armor, instead of glowing red, the red glow faded, and it was starting to glow blue. The knight freed from his oath to his evil master, thanked Alex, swore on his life that he would free the people, that the men in this fortress were loyal to him. His men would release the people from their cells. So Alex went down to the dungeon and saw the soldiers in armor that was no longer red, but now was blue, releasing all the prisoners. And she left the fortress, returning back home. And when she got home, the sword left her hand, bid her farewell, and told her one day, I will need your help once more. And told her, I will need your help one final time. And the sword left her. And she started thinking about when the next time the sword would come to her to ask her for that help. But until then, that's a story for another time.